Okay, so for this video, I've created a demo song that I'm sure you'll recognize. And then after I let it play out, I'm going to show you the specific steps of how I got the tones that I did. So let's hear what it sounds like. Okay, so let's focus on getting the guitar tones that you hear in this song. So what you're hearing is 1, 2, 3 guitars and a bass, and then a second guitar, but that's not part of what we're doing right now. We're focused on these 3s, which all together sounds like this. Excuse the little stutter, my laptop's mad at me for running OBS and FL Studio at the same time, so bear with me. So first we're going to focus on the bass, which by itself sounds like this. Pretty cool. What I'm using is the templated bass, courtesy of FL Studio, which can be found through packs, instruments, bass, and then templated. So by itself, without any effects, the templated bass sounds like this. Not very metal. Let's fix that. So the first plugin we're going to be using is the Sound Goodizer. You can find this under Dynamics Sound Goodizer. So the setting I have it on is the D channel cracked all the way up. And when you add that, it sounds like this. Kind of boosts the bass frequencies, gives it a bit more power. And the second plugin we're going to be using is the TSE 808. Now this is a free VST. This is not stock FL Studio, but you can get this for free. I'll leave a link in the description. It's very easy to get. So when we add this, it sounds like this. pretty cool. These are the settings that I have if you want to emulate it. You don't actually have to have stereo on, but I do because, why not? So the next filter we have, or the next effect we're using, is the Fruity Love filter. You can find this under, I believe, Filters, Fruity Love filter. And the preset I have it turned on is the Distant Low Pass. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I have it on the Distant Low Pass, which turns it into this. It might be Distorted Low Pass, actually. I don't claim to know any of this. And I do have an EQ just in case, but it sounds just fine to me. I don't notice anything, it sounds fine. So next, let's go to the first guitar, which by itself sounds like this. Pretty cool. So what we're using here is the slap bass, which can be found right here. And by itself, the slap bass sounds like this. I like this specific bass because it has that impact that 8-string guitar normally has, which is what we need. So the first effect we have going on is the Blood Overdrive. You can find this by going through to Distortion, Blood Overdrive. And the preset we have turned on is the drive channel. Yep. And so before, it sounds like this. But when we add it, it sounds like this. Adds a bit more impact that we need. So the second filter we have is a Sound Goodizer again on the D channel again. When we add this, it sounds like this. Starting to get that metal sound. And so our next plugin is the TSC 808 again with these settings. And when we add that, it sounds like this. Starting to get a bit of a nasty sound. So our next filter, again, is going to be the Fruity Love filter. Set to, I believe, the Distant Low Pass, or Distorted Low Pass, which, again, sounds like this. And our next filter is going to be the Parametric EQ. You can find this by going to, which is under Filters, Parametric EQ 2. And I've got it set to this. You can mimic what I've got here. It just stomps down on the... A bit of a problem if you can see. It kind of hurts without it, because without it... It just makes it sound cleaner because it doesn't really need that frequency, so it makes it sound a lot cleaner, a lot tighter, a lot better. And our final little effect we have going on is the Stereo Enhancer. You can find this by going to the Gain. Okay, it's a part of Gain, Stereo Enhancer. I believe I have it on the strings setting. Yep. I have it on the string setting, and when we turn that on, it sounds like this. It just takes it from mono to stereo, which is what we want. So our second guitar by itself sounds like this. So what we're using here is, again, I believe, it's a classic 80 bass, which can be found here. And by itself, the classic 80 bass sounds like this. Not very metal. So we throw it through the Sound Goodizer on the D channel once again, and it turns into, you know the drill. And then we have the Blood Overdrive once again, and we put it on the drive channel, and then it turns into this. Now, I already love that sound, but we need more of a drive, more power for metal. So we give the TSE 808 on these settings. And when we turn it on, it turns into this. Very sick. So we have the Fruity Love filter once again, set to, I believe it's the distant low pass. Let's see. Yep. Which I love that sound. You can clearly tell it's not a real guitar, but that's kind of the charm of it. It definitely has a really cool sound to it. And I do have the parametric EQ stomping on the bass frequency at about the 100, whatever this is. Just match this. Because if we don't have it on, it has a bunch of bass frequencies that we don't want in a guitar. So it helps clean it out. And since the VST is coming from FL Studio itself, it's already been EQ'd. So generally you don't want to overdo the EQ as far as clarity. Now, if there are unwanted frequencies that you don't want, then stomp on it by all means. But you generally don't need an EQ most of the time. Our third guitar by itself sounds like this. That's where most of the tone comes from, if you'll notice. Which by itself, I believe it's the slap bass once again. Yes. And by itself, again, it sounds like this. Still love that sound. You can tell it's like clearly fake, but it sounds cool. So our first little plugin is the Amped from Stevie T. This is a free plugin. You get the Gent God and the Shredeemer for totally free. You can go to, I'll put a link in the description or something to get you this. I use this for fake guitars, real guitars. It's amazing. It's set to the Thal preset. So when we add this, it sounds like this. Now, frankly, that's already a complete sound that we don't really need to enhance or do anything to it. But I do add a sound goodizer on the C channel this time, which turns it into this. Now, you want to be careful when using the sound goodizer because it boosts frequencies, which can be cool for like drums and certain instruments like guitar, but you don't want to overdo it because it makes certain notes louder than others. And since this song generally sticks to one octave, it doesn't really venture too far. You can get away with using the sound goodizer and it makes it sound a lot better. But if your song is going all over the place as far as octaves, you want to stay away from the sound goodizer. It's not going to be good for you. All right. So then we have a little parametric EQ2 to clean up the frequencies. Stomp down on the frequencies we don't need. And then again, we have the stereo enhancer set to the string setting to give it just that stereo that we need. And I added a reverb. You generally don't want to put reverb on guitar, especially rhythm guitar. I did just to give it some more pronounced like power. I'm pretty sure I have it on the default setting. No, I didn't. Oop. I think I have it on the default setting. Just turn down this a little bit and then it turns into that. Sounds pretty sick. And then when it all comes together, it sounds like this. I freaking love that sound. It sounds so sick to me. And then when we add all the drums and whatnot, it gives the power of this. I wish my freaking laptop wasn't lagging because it sounds so good. Let me think. Is there anything else that I missed? Nope. I believe that's it. Cool. So if you follow the steps that I have laid out before you, you should be able to get the sound that I have. But yeah, if you like this, cool. If you didn't, okay, that's fine. If you want me to do more like this, I can. But yeah, that should be about it. Anything more that I missed, I'll put in text over the video. But yeah, that should be it. That should be cool. Whoop-de freaking do.